while you're recording, I'm going to be like...
Good evening. If everybody could go ahead and have a seat who would like to sit, if you'd like to stand, that's fine too. I am Mrs. McGaha. I am the principal here at North Madison. Welcome to another exciting school year. This is our 4th back to school night this year, so we are very excited to see this night come. But we are excited to see you all come out. It was nice that the rain stopped so you could get here and not have to go through that downpour that was occurring right before it was time for you to head this way. I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight. I'm not going to talk a whole lot. And we're going to talk just in general, and then the classroom teachers are going to take an opportunity to talk to you as a group. Before I get started, I would like to introduce Angela Pugh. She is the president of our PTO. She is also a classroom teacher here, so if you've heard that name before, that's probably why. But this is her first year as president of our PTO, and she's going to take just a few minutes to talk to you a little bit about PTO. Don't worry, this isn't one of those deals where we invite you in and then we keep you in this room when we talk about PTO until you're finally like, okay, sign me up, just get me out of here. It's not like that. She's just going to talk a little bit about PTO and what they do and how you can be involved as much as you want to be involved, okay? But it's not a high pressure situation at all. So, Mrs. Pugh, come on.
Good evening. Like Mrs. McGaha said, I am Angela Pugh, president of PTO, as well as a 6th grade teacher here at North Madison. And to serve on the board with me, I have Vice President Emily
Cloud.
I always butcher it, so that's why I just let her say it. Secretary Autumn Riggin and Treasurer Nikki Moore, which she is also a teacher here at North Madison. She is a kindergarten teacher here. And then we also have Mrs. Brimberry, which is the art teacher. She is the intermediate teacher liaison. And then Mrs. Alty, which is a kindergarten teacher, and she is the primary teacher liaison. PTO here at North Madison this year has come up with a logo and a slogan, and I'm wearing a shirt, and you will see this on many things that PTO sends home, and it's just kind of that when you recognize it, you'll be like, oh, that's from PTO. And together we can make a difference, and that's what we came up with, because that truly is the case. Parents, and with the parents working with us here and then working with the school in turn, it does make a difference in the children and their education here. We're not going to be doing a lot of fundraising this year, no like go door-to-door thing or anything of that nature. It's going to basically consist of box tops, Campbell soup labels, and Tyson labels. So you'll be still sending those in. The only difference is that you will be sending the box tops in and putting them actually on a sheet for us. And the reason being, and I'm guilty from years past, you see the box top, you rip it out, you put it in a baggie, and you send it in. Well then, the people that are on the box top committee, those poor people have to sit and cut out every single one of those to submit them, because box tops will not take them unless they are cut out. And each one of those is 10 cents toward our school. So the other night, I'm looking through the recycle bin and there's 20 cents in the recycle bin that forgot to be taken off. So that is very, very important to our school, because in turn, then we take that money from box tops, Campbell soup labels, and from the Tyson labels, along with Spiritware, which the table's up front, and they have many different things you can choose from, and Spiritware will be sold all year. It's something that will be on hand, and we will be ordering consistently throughout the year, and things will be seasonal as well. So those are some great opportunities to get some Mooresville and North Madison gear, hair bows. There's the titanium necklaces for the boys, and then decals as well. And like I said, we'll be adding some things as we go throughout the school year. Along with that, we will also still be doing not fast food nights anymore. We've changed the name to family food night, just because not all of the locations that we are going to hopefully be able to get into will be fast food. And so that's another way that you can help PTO out by fundraising, is attending and dining out that evening at whatever location we have. Currently, for the month of September, we are looking at Chick-fil-A in Plainfield, and that is something that I think just today was put on the calendar, so that information will be coming out to you as well. And what happens is when we go out to those restaurants, you submit a flyer, and then at the end of the night, between certain hours of operation, we receive a certain percentage of what was made. And then that money comes here to help buy things that the school needs as well. So, and then also stone button sales will be a part of the Spirit Wear, and those will be happening the second Thursday of every month during lunch. And the buttons are up front as well. So those 4 things are our main fundraising this year, and those 4 things will be going toward, if you notice the North Madison logo that's up there with the big N and the Pioneers, what we are hoping to purchase this year with fundraising funds is a sign like that for the back of our building, because people coming up Paddock Road don't really necessarily know what this building is if they're not familiar with the area until they actually get to the 4-way stop and turn, and then they see, oh, this is North Madison Elementary. So that is what our goal is for this year with some of our fundraising. Also, in the past, PTO has done a lot. The school-wide field trip we took last year, PTO funded a portion of that. PTO funds 1 field trip per grade level and pays for the buses. And with gas prices, that is a huge chunk right there. And that's something that doesn't have to come out of your pocket to help pay toward field trips. The playground outside, the soft surface, the walking trail. I mean, we could keep going on and on, that there are things here at the school that PTO has purchased for our school that in turn your students use that I think just a lot of people aren't really aware of. So, and I know we all work, regardless if you work in the home or outside of the home, there are things that you can become involved in. So make sure this evening that you stop by the table and sign up to help with PTO if you're interested, take the parent survey, and you can also sign up in the classrooms as well. One last thing, we do currently have a North Madison PTO Facebook page. So if you are on Facebook, make sure to like the North Madison PTO Facebook page, and there will be tons of information going through that as well on all of the things that we will be doing here this year at North Madison. Thank you.
I really appreciate Mrs. Pugh taking this on this year, and I really appreciate our PTO. They have been an amazing, very small organization for several years, but they have been able to get so much done. So if we can increase that organization and have more people involved, I can't imagine what we could do. So if you have some time, or if you're able to go out to eat during a family food night, please do that. Please do that if you can, okay? Now, to continue on, first thing I want to talk about are the successes that we've had here at North Madison. We've been very fortunate over the last few years because our staff has been very solid. We haven't had much transition, and the result of that is our 3rd graders last year took the iRead test, and if you haven't heard about iRead, don't worry, if you're a 3rd grade parent, you will hear about it tonight. And some more information will be coming home tomorrow. But that is a state-mandated test that tests the reading level of your 3rd grader. And the state has specific scores in specific areas that they must reach in order for them to be able to move on to 4th grade reading. So it is a very important test for your child, and our teachers understand how important that is for your child. And last year we had a 97% pass rate with our 3rd graders. And the year before that we were in the 90s as well. So we've done an excellent job. Our teachers have done an excellent job preparing the students for that test so that they can continue to feel that success and they have those foundational reading skills. That's what the test is built on. So we're very proud of our 3rd graders from last year for doing that, and we're 4th graders, for the parents who are here for 4th grade. Also, we have, here in Mooresville, we have what's called the Top 20, and whenever your students are ready to graduate, the Mooresville High School will establish their top 20 students. And last year, the top 20 students at Mooresville High School, 5 of those students came from North Madison Elementary. So we were very proud of that we built that foundation and they continued to grow when they went to high school. And then finally, I know you've heard a lot about the Indiana Department of Education rating system lately in the news. Well, let me first just say there was none of that funny math going on with the North Madison rating because we earned our A last year and we're very proud of that. The DOE rated North Madison as an A school, and that is due to our test scores, our attendance. Many different factors go into that rating, and so that is quite an accomplishment, not an easy thing to do. So we are very proud of that, and that is absolutely on the shoulders of our staff. We have amazing staff here, and we're very lucky to have the teachers that we have. What's new? Well, if you did not hear, Over the summer, Mr. Lindsay, our past superintendent, resigned, and in his place, we now have an interim superintendent, and his name is Dr. Larry Moore. He has been an assistant superintendent with Mooresville schools in the past, so he is familiar with Mooresville, and that has to be an advantage for us. Also, Mr. White, our PE teacher from last year, has moved to another school, and we have a new phys ed teacher. Her name is Mrs. Danielle Davis. And she started working with the kids today, so if some of your students had PE today, you can ask them about her. She is very young and energetic, and I think the kids are just really going to enjoy PE with her, just as they did with Mr. White. We also have reorganized our Title I program, and for some of you might be thinking, why does this matter to us? Well, we've also decided to include grade 3 in our Title I program this year. So some of our third graders who are struggling with reading will receive Title I services as well. We used to just do kindergarten, first and second grade, and we were able to pull third grade in this year. So that's great because that's an advantage for those students who are struggling. And Mrs. Wells is going to be running that program this year. We have a couple new teachers. Our first new teacher is in second grade. She comes to us from Northwood Elementary, so she does have experience. And we also have a new teacher in third grade, and that is Mrs. Mindy Mayo. And Mrs. Mayo comes to us from Neil Armstrong, so she also has experience. And Mrs. Mayo, can you give us a wave just so we can all identify? There's Mrs. Mayo. And so we are very blessed to have those two teachers. We also have a new kindergarten teacher, which is Mrs. Moore, and she is from Newby Elementary. So we were fortunate that the 3 teachers who did leave last year, we were able to replace them with 3 teachers who have classroom experience. So we were pretty excited about that. How can you be involved? That's the number one thing that you should be asking yourself right now. How can I stay involved in my child's education? Because that is so important. You need to know what's going on. And the only way you can do that is to stay involved. And the first way is really through PTO. And we are not a high-pressure PTO. We understand people are able to do only what they're able to do. But we appreciate everybody who helps. So I would encourage you to stop by the PTO booth, do the parent survey, get involved however you can. If that means that you can count out rewards at home one evening, then great. We appreciate that. Anything you can do. Also in the classroom. All of our classroom teachers welcome parents to come in and help out in the classroom. We have several parents who have said, I would come in, but I'm not really comfortable working with a group of students. That's fine. All of the teachers have other things that you could do. You could do copying, you could stuff folders, you can laminate, you can cut out lamination. There's all kinds of things. And then there's also a one-on-one type environment that you could work with a student. So if you're not comfortable with a large group of students, or 5 or 6 students, then maybe there's a one-on-one situation you can work with. But if you're in the classroom, then you see what's happening, you hear what's being said, you can reinforce what's being said, you can use the same vocabulary as what they're using in the classroom. It just helps to be involved. So if you're able to do that, please, we welcome that. The note that I have at the bottom is very important. Some of you last year probably filled out a criminal background check, and I want you to know that you have to do that every single year. So if you did one last year, but you're planning on volunteering this year, you have to do another one this year. A lot can happen over a summer, so we want to make sure we update those every single school year. And in addition to that, we have a new system, many of you have probably experienced it, where you have to have your identification and it has to be scanned when you come in. So if you go up to the front hallway by the office, there are criminal background check forms laying there. You can fill that out, take it into the office, give Marcia your ID and that criminal background check. She'll scan your ID, we'll get your criminal background check done. She can't take that criminal background check unless she has your ID to be able to scan it as well. So please, if you have that tonight, it's a perfect opportunity, because if you take those forms home, fill them out and send them back in, we're going to send them back home because we can't put them through the system without your ID. Okay? What's next? Well, here's what's next. The 4th grade teachers are going to stay here in the cafeteria, and the 3rd grade teachers are going to take their parents and go over into the gym. Also, you can pay book rental tonight. Mrs. Grubbs is up in the office. She will take book rental if you would like to pay it. And there is a basket up front from our fundraiser. that you can fill out a ticket, put it in the basket to win. There's about $300 worth of fundraiser items in that basket, so any adult can fill out that ticket. Once again, we welcome you back to school, and some of you that are new, we welcome you to North Madison, and I hope we have a great year. Thank you so much for coming tonight.